timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, joined by the mystery man, Sharpie.
Hey, it's good when people actually are on time. So, unlike
And
some people,
we'll be joined by Lockie momentarily. Well, he probably doesn't watch much college basketball, and neither do I. But I'll let you. That's what we're gonna
neither do I.
kick off with. But there's a lot of upsets going on. That Kevin Harlan call, like him calling the game in that what was it? FDU. Was it FDU?
Probably.
When they came back. That was fucking unreal. What I find interesting though is how is what? I still don't understand how bloody what's his name? Drew Timmy has been in college for like playing college ball for like 6 or 7 years. Surely that's like a record.
I think he's a fourth year.
Feels like
He's a senior.
6 or 7.
He's a senior.
He's about to break the record of most 20-point games in college ball. I just want someone to draft him, even if it's OKC with a late second round pick. Just do it. I like the mustache.
This is his fourth season in college.
Well, I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, he's a senior.
Do you have any
Buddy
thoughts?
Hield was a senior. So.
Do you have any thoughts on who you think's gonna win the March Madness?
Well, it was Kansas, but now they're gone, so now I have no clue who.
I might have to do what that bloke did last year.
I don't even know who the fuck's left in it.
Yeah,
Lockie's back. I can't even see his face.
I'll probably just go with Kansas State because there's a
Let's go. Let's start this podcast.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to something real now, some real sports because we don't know much about March Madness. Let's talk about tournament. Yeah, well, let's talk about the NBA. That's a basketball tournament too. Just a very long one. Now, we talked about who we think are contenders in the West last week. Now, let's talk about the logjam just in the West in general. Now, I don't know if many of you have the standings up, but I'll read it out to you. So, Clippers are in 5th. Warriors are in 6th. Thunder 7th. Mavs 8th. Timberwolves 9th. Jazz 10th. And Lakers 11th. And there is a good 2.5 games between them. Now,
man can't multitask.
Yeah, no, I can't. So the Mavericks, who are sitting 8th, are a game and a half behind the Clippers, and half a game behind the Warriors in 6th, and so are the Thunder. I guess my question is, if you all get up the standings in front of you, that might be better. What team is going to get that 5th or 6th spot, and what team is going to miss out?
Clippers won't because PG's done his knee.
Is that confirmed? Like, I know that they were.
Oh,
it didn't look good.
See?
It looked like a hybrid extension, sort of.
You reckon? Holy hell! That was horrid. Like
poor bloke as well.
And if it's on his bad knee, then yeah, I don't know. That'd be massive. That'd be massive if
they're sitting
if
5th.
They're out.
They're sitting 5th, so they got the biggest
at
advantage.
the moment.
But
yeah,
OKC holds the tiebreaker with them as well.
Of course they do.
So I guess looking at the standings now, what 2 teams do you think are going to get 5th and 6th, and what team do you think is going to miss the play-in entirely, which is currently the Lakers, if you were to look at it right now?
That'd be hilarious. Sharpie would hate that.
It's actually getting used to it by now for the Lakers, so it's not really that big thing anymore.
Shots fired.
LeBron's a bum.
Oh my God, how are the Minnesota even in?
Don't talk about them.
Picture
without Anthony Edwards either.
How are they even in the picture? They are bums. But anyway, how about Nas Reed?
Yeah, they got players like Torian Prince and all that Cook and the Knicks.
Yeah, lol. Who's taking the 5th and 6th spot?
Yeah, we'll go with that first. Who's getting 5th and 6th?
I actually see OKC taking the 6th.
I could see it. I'll probably just on paper, I think the Mavs, but OKC's chemistry is a lot better than the Mavs at the moment because they've got a more solid team. Literally team.
We've still got a difficult run
I think
home.
that's more. Yeah, I still think they've got the biggest chance. But like if Dallas pull things together with Kyrie and Luka, then
yeah,
it's going to depend on what Kyrie's ankle's like after he got stepped on yesterday. But that is my prediction. I can't. The Minnesota and the Jazz no, Lakers no. There's no one else there close enough. In my opinion.
So who do
New
you have
Orleans,
5th
no.
and 6th? OKC and
Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharpie.
Yeah, the same.
I'm gonna go Mavs.
Irrelevant.
I'm gonna go Mavs and Warriors because I think the Thunder will get 8th or 7th. Sadly,
How's us back in his team and he's not even back in a team in Sharpie?
Well,
what
today,
the fuck's going on here?
Today I had a multi on, and the last leg was for the Clippers to beat OKC. I never usually put OKC in, but I'm like,
actually a dog.
I'll bet against them, and it got to 2 minutes left, and it was a 1-point game, and I'm like, I don't know what to support here. But then I'm like,
actually a dog.
Stuff it. I'll support OKC.
Wow.
But moving on to the team that we think is going to miss the play-in. Who have you got? Currently the Lakers. Is it going to be the Lakers? I'm surprised.
I think so. Yes.
I'm surprised the Jazz are still hanging in there. To be honest, they've just you don't know what they're doing. To be honest, whether they want playoffs, whether they want to get a good draft, it's just they're a shambles. But you going with the Lakers? Are you lucky?
Yeah.
Sharpie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might go with the Lakers.
But at the same time, I can obviously the Clippers have still got Kawhi, but if they don't have Paul George for the final stretch of the season,
yeah,
it could be very interesting. Like that, it didn't look good. Like that bent back a long way.
The Clippers have only got 9 games left.
Yeah, if he doesn't have something structurally wrong with that, I'd be very surprised. But you never know. Strange things have happened. But
yeah,
obviously not having him is a big chunk gone out of their team. But I still think they win enough games to stay in. So I think the Lakers for sure.
I'm going to go with Jazz
my
or
opinion.
the Timberwolves because I think the Wolves I don't know how much longer Anthony Edwards is out for. I think he might be another week, but Karl Anthony Towns is coming back at the end of this week, I think, which is good news for them. But I still think either them or the Jazz because I just don't know how the Jazz are really pulling it out right now. They have a good run, they go shit, and they have another good run, and then they'll bloody tail off again. We haven't had much help lately because the Mavs or someone lost to the Jazz in a close game they shouldn't have lost. And are you going with the who did you say? Sorry, Sharpie?
Yeah, the Lakers.
All right, the Lakers it is. All right, we're not going to touch on too much basketball here, but this will be the last one. Lillard commented about not wanting to stay with a rebuild or not wanting to rebuild, and rightfully so at his age. And obviously there are a few games outside of the play-in, and they're not going to make the play-in, I dare say. They're going to be in the sweepstakes for Wembanyama. A lot of people are saying that him saying that he's not wanting to rebuild is a sign that he's going to leave in the off-season. But I feel like in a way that's just going to contradict everything that he's, I guess, stuck through. If he was going to leave, why didn't he leave 2 years ago or a year ago? What are your thoughts? We'll go to Sharpie.
Why did he
first.
sign that $100 million extension?
Yeah. We'll go to you first, Sharpie. What do you think? Do you think he stays or leaves?
He won't leave.
Yeah. Do you think he should leave?
I think he should leave. I mean, it's been obvious for ages that he should leave, but he just chooses not to, and you can't blame anyone but yourself. But it's his choice. He has a reason. He has his reason, which, I mean, you can agree with it, you can't agree with it, but I mean, it's not really doing much for you.
In a way, he's a lot better Bradley Beal.
Hello. Hello.
The roaming Frizy.
What a coward. That was all you, Sharpie, wasn't it?
Surprisingly, no. It was actually Lockie.
Ah, quick onto it.
That was too good.
What do you think, Lockie? Do you think he stays or leaves next season?
I think he stays. I feel like I think he's almost at the point where it's like, I just think that the person he is, like, he's shown what sort of a person he is. He's stuck around, being loyal to the team. I don't know. That's just me. Like, that's just what I'm like. I would do that in that situation, but yeah, it depends on what he like. If he wants to go and win a chip, but then who's going to take him in that big contract that Sharpie mentioned?
Yeah,
like, who's going to want to take on that? There'd be very few, I would say, that would have the cap room. But I'll tell you what would be a good fit. Your mob at the minute. I don't know whether you'd want that or not. But
no, definitely would not want that coward on my team.
but like defensively, he is so good.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be a good fit if you can fit the cap space on it.
Get a big Dorcher chamber in there.
Yeah, because like it'd take it away from Giddy and Shea and all that sort of thing. But I don't know. I think he'd stay just purely because I don't know who would want to take on that massive a contract.
Well, I think it's interesting as well because, like, if he leaves, one, he's risking being that one of those blokes that leaves to try and win a chip, like, say, like DeMarcus Cousins, except obviously Boogie was on a trend downwards anyway. But like how he left to try and
Who cares? Everyone's done it.
yeah, no, I know.
Honestly, besides Giannis, fucking
Dirk.
I don't think anyone has the ability to properly carry their team, especially the way he does.
Like Giannis,
but just by himself.
Giannis and Dirk are the last two that I can remember off the top of my head. I guess in a way, the Raptors and Kawhi. Like, I know Kawhi still moved there, but like it wasn't like they were a stacked team. They were a good team, but
yeah,
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, but I see what you mean. But like, I honestly think that like his legacy is not going to change a great deal. Like, his legacy would slightly be would be slightly worse, I reckon, if he was to leave the Blazers and chase a ring and then not win a ring.
He doesn't owe the Blazers nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't. He genuinely doesn't.
He literally doesn't.
But I think he would win a lot more admiration from the fans and everything, just NBA fans, if he was a one-team player, because like you don't see much of that anymore.
Purely because you don't see it. Yeah.
And like that's
literally just because you don't see it.
And that's what a lot of people want. And like Presti came out at the start of the year, I'm pretty sure, and said that's why he likes to draft like European players and overseas players, because like they're more likely to be loyal to the team that they're drafted by, rather if you draft Americans,
because they don't have an affiliation to a certain state.
Well, luckily the OKC didn't draft Porzingis, but
Şengün.
we drafted him in a trade.
Big Cretchy.
Oh, nice.
Keep going, Ollie. I'll get the shovel.
Yeah,
I'll get the shovel from outside.
My point stands. My point stands. But,
does it?
Yes, it's.
You might be standing in that hole you're digging.
You watch, SGA won't leave us, even though he wasn't a one club player. But
he's not American either.
But like, you look at Giannis, you look at Jokic, you look at what Doncic probably stay. Yeah, you're gonna see him stay at the Mavs, I reckon. Personal opinion, but I think it would mean more for his legacy if he just stuck it out rather than trying to win a ring.
It's just so hard. Like, you got drafted to a team where you don't have a lot of. They obviously don't have a lot of pull because it's not a destination.
It's a big market team. It's not a big market team.
Yeah. So, unfortunately for him, like he missed his chance when he had LaMarcus Aldridge and all that. Like they had that window there where they were doing pretty well, but it's just unfortunate that he's just coming to an era where there's been LeBron, Steph, Kawhi,
And Brandon
all these...
Roy. They needed Brandon Roy.
They did. They needed a Brandon Roy. Correct.
Was Danny Granger on that team at all? Am I tripping? Like, I know Granger was on the Pacers.
In his career, was he? Or was it early in his career before the Pacers? I can't remember.
They needed Greg Oden.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, healthy.
Yeah, healthy Greg Oden.
Big Chungus.
Poor bloke.
Yeah.
But, like, what I find weird, though, is, like, yeah, I know it's not a big destination, but, like, you look at the Thunder, we got Paul George. Like, and I know he said he was going to stay and he ended up leaving, but like there's a lot of instances where like we got Chris Paul as well, like players that have gone to or got traded to these small market teams to play with another player, say Westbrook or something. I'm just surprised no one's said, yeah, Portland might not be a great place or whatever, but I want to play with Lillard and like try.
I feel like that could be a similar situation to what was the Paul George and OKC, because you're going there, you don't need to worry about, it's just going to be me by myself having to carry it. Like, no, you're going to have Westbrook there and Steven Adams there.
Yeah.
And
it was
it's not like you're going into a bad team, like where Dame's just there. And then who else you got?
And like, I know we're drifting a bit off track, but like, I feel like that was a good position for Paul George because, like,
it's all right. We're a sports podcast.
Because you look at it, like, you don't get as much scrutiny. Like, you're a superstar, you're going to get scrutinized anyway. But like, teams like the Thunder
weren't by me.
Teams like the Thunder at that stage when, like, I know Westbrook won the MVP and we finished like 8th or 9th, but like, the Thunder weren't always on national TV, always in the media and everything. If you get like a star player in that sort of situation, they kind of just play ball and they don't have any outside noise. Like Paul George played his best year for the Thunder. Personal opinion, but like I'm just surprised no one wanted to play, not necessarily no one wanted to play with Lillard, but no one was willing to play in Portland so they could play with Lillard, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I do.
No one wanted to go to the West, though. That's the thing. Because the Warriors dominated the West.
Yeah. And then LeBron went there as well. And then they're like, nah, fuck that. So,
well, the West has always been.
That's not an issue now.
Well, the West has always been.
For the last like 15 years.
That's why they changed That's why they changed the East versus West. Yes, it wasn't competitive, but it was like the West was always the stronger conference, even though the East had LeBron. It was literally LeBron, Paul George, D Rose for a couple of years, and then like
Isaiah Thomas.
No disrespect, but,
D White.
no disrespect to that Hawks team, because like I love Kyle Korver and all that, but they have 4 All-Stars from that Hawks team, and I know they were the top of the East, but they had Al Horford, Joe Johnson, I think it was Josh Smith, and Kyle Korver. There's 4 All-Stars.
Did Millsap didn't make it that year?
Oh, maybe it was Millsap instead of. I think it was one of them. I'm probably messing up, but it was just a weak East.
Probably.
And you can't forget that Kings team in the West. I'll send it in now to the group so you can see what I'm talking about.
With DeMarcus. Fucking heck. What am I going to
do? No, not that one.
I'm so lost here. Anyway, while we're waiting for that image, we'll go on to our comment of the week. I also, going forward, I might just every week have 3 players and we'll go overrated, underrated, and get opinions on that. But for this week, comment of the week, have you actually got one? Because I know I have, but
I do, but I sent it to you today, not thinking about what I was doing.
I haven't seen your message, so
no. I'm the one that came up with this idea, and I keep forgetting about it.
I'll go first. So
I've got mine, but because you haven't seen it.
So in summary, it's a quick one-liner, but he said there was an overload of judgment on Ja from the media.
That sounds like someone who loves sucking ass. That's Dylan Brooks.
Lockie, any guesses?
Are we just a Dylan Brooks fucking?
Yes.
It's not Dylan Brooks.
No, I got no idea.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Oof.
Yep, he said there was an overload of judgment when I honestly think it was the other way around. I thought the media, if anything, was not harsh at all on. I think they were more harsh on Kyrie for what he did than what Jar's done. Like,
yeah, look, probably
Kyrie got crucified, and some of it rightfully so. But I just think Jar was not let off lightly, but like he's already returning to play, and everyone was kind of sensitive to the situation anyway. So that's my dumb comment of the week. But Sharpie, what's yours?
He's a cheerleader. He was a great player, and now he gets paid to cheerlead.
We are a Dylan Brooks podcast by the sounds of it.
Jesus.
I did see that one on Twitter.
Yes, Dylan Brooks on Theo Pinson. Shut the fuck up, Dylan Brooks. Theo Pinson is the man. He's the reason the Knicks made the playoffs 2 years ago. Shut the fuck up.
The reason the Knicks made the playoffs?
Yes.
You sure it wasn't Svi Mikhailo arriving like 2 years later?
I said 2 years ago.
Oh, actually, I may have one here. Hang on.
Not as good as Sweet.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan Brooks. You're just fucking talking. Shut the fuck up. Fucking hell. First thing you do after a game is go straight to a camera and be like, oh, look at me. I'm going to say something fucking stupid. Shut up.
Oh, wow. Is this worse than his Knicks rant? I don't know. I love it, but oh, God. Out of breath, Sharpie.
All right.
They call me the mystery man. You're the one that goes fucking missing in the fucking playoffs. Bitch.
Or just in a regular game.
Not just yet. No one knows who the fuck you are till after the game for when you spill your bullshit.
I love this. I love it.
I second that. I second that. Absolutely second that.
All right, we'll move off of Dylan Brooks now.
I've got okay. My stupid comment might get comfortable at the top of the ladder since I'll be there most of the season.
I'm not going to comment on this. It's not a professional sports, Sharpie. Technically he is.
Darcy Parish.
Nah, they're definitely not going to be at the top of the leaderboard.
They are.
Top of the ladder.
But sorry, I stand corrected. It is
for one fucking week.
It is a professional sports player.
No, it's really not. It's far from it.
It was me, Sharpie.
What were you on the top?
Ollie had one good week in Super Coach, Liam, and all fans supporting.
Absolutely slaughtered.
So he decided to post that on our Facebook group, and then one of the guys that's in the group on a fellow podcast, Sports Confidential, I believe.
Oh, plug.
Benjamin Hicks said, "Congrats, mate! I'll send through the winnings to you now after week one."
Yep.
And who did you play?
Brizzy, and I had a few players out. So
yeah, and so did he.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway, congrats on the win. Congrats on the win.
Look at that. Like,
and your fucking big head.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that's focused.
That's
heaps.
focused. That's focused real good.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of winning, while we transition into it, how about North Melbourne?
Well, let's start off with North Melbourne.
Yeah, I was going to say, when are we talking about AFL?
Yeah, well, we're getting to the AFL
literally
now.
Come prepared for it and everything.
AFL's always second, all right? So we'll go to the AFL now. North Melbourne had a good win. We'll start off there because I was going to start off
playing
at the start of the week, but
headphones, god damn it.
You're playing the North Melbourne song, aren't you? And it's just not coming.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, I'll sing it.
Good old North Melbourne.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Well, Premiers, you'll see. Yeah.
I don't know the song.
We'll see.
We haven't heard it much, have we?
Yeah, we'll fucking.
The shepherd and
we haven't
boys
heard it
are
much.
happy.
There we go.
Yeah, we still can't hear it. Yeah, you just keep dancing to yourself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Love
Let's
those
go.
dances. That's how he dances in
Harry
a nightclub,
Sheasel has
everyone, as
signed
well.
on to 2026. Things are looking up for the Roo boys.
And then he's going to have a bad game and then leave like Jason Francis, which we'll get to anyway. But
whose team won round one? Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly, Ollie. Exactly.
Hey,
you blokes go cry me a fucking river.
Lockie, neither of our teams lost. Sharpie's team's the only one that
that's
lost.
very true. That's very nice. Sharpie doesn't go for the doggies, remember?
We won. We beat Geelong.
Yeah. Double chance.
How did you know that? How did you not know that that's where he was going with that? Then,
yeah,
I never lose.
Unless they both lose in the same week.
1-on-1, never lost.
North Melbourne made it a lot closer than it needed to be. Like that was
correct.
Jesus.
I was listening to it on the radio on the way home from work because I was watching it on and off at work, and Jesus Christ. But I'm happy because that's a game we would have lost in the last 3 or 4 years, and we stuck through and we won that. And at least it wasn't against West Coast Waffles side this time, so it was a genuine win. I'm happy with that.
All I'm gonna say is I remember I heard Larky say after the game, he's like, if this was us last year, we would have let go of the game and lost. And I'm like, mate, you did let go of the game nearly. You like choked a
nearly
40
we didn't,
point,
did we?
40-point lead or something, and it was
nearly.
Yeah, if there was another 2 minutes or a minute, you would have. Yeah, I know.
We didn't.
But you know who did give up a lead though? Geelong on Friday night.
Correct.
3 times they gave up a 20+ point lead against Collingwood. Very surprising. Bobby Hill played fantastic. I thought he was awesome. Bit sad about Jeremy Howe's injury. That was
horrific.
Very nasty. And on behalf of everyone here at the Locker Room Podcast, we wish you a speedy recovery.
Yeah, correct.
Ollie's comment about Nick Dacos and how he's not going to have another great year is didn't get off to a good start.
My comment's way worse.
With his 35 touches. So that went well.
What was your comment?
This goes back to when I was living with the great man Stanley Gear. And
shout out.
So I was doing some video when I was correct. I was doing some footage stuff when I was studying at Carlton, and I did one of his games. And look, I wasn't very impressed because he was just running around the back of players that were taking marks and getting handballs, getting easy kicks, that sort of thing. I'm like,
so what he does in the
Did you look at Bailey Smith? Did you watch Bailey Smith?
No. Well, I did that too, but he was actually a little bit different in the tap cut.
To be fair, Dacos still does that a great deal.
He does do it a bit, but like he's impressed me with a lot of other stuff that I've seen now. And I told Ryan, I'm like, he's not gonna be any good. And every time he has a good game, Ryan messages me. He's like, "Yeah, no, you fucked up there." I'm like, "Yep, I understand that."
I love the weekly messages from him.
Yep. Yep.
Like he's definitely skilled. Like his skills are
Sharpie.
His skills are unreal. But
oh yeah,
like he does get a lot of cheapies. But I mean, so did Tom Mitchell, and Tom Mitchell won a Brownlow.
And did you see Ollie Henry get tackled in the goal square?
That was so bad. That was
hilarious.
But I was so happy for him when he kicked that
His goal celebration was funny, giving it back to the Collingwood crew. And that's what you needed to do.
But then he went back and then he did that in the goal square. I'm like, mate, you can't be fucking doing that. That's
I love
embarrassing.
the camera work though to span to the Collingwood fans just all quiet after they were giving it to him. I loved it. But that, and then the game before that is Richmond Carlton. We all went to the game except for Sharpie, so two of us.
I was there.
Seats and others, but
Sharpie was there in spirit. Great start. 2 goals within a minute. Shit. About 2.5 quarters, and then the last quarter or so was unreal. We were right behind where Tom Lynch kicked that goal. I'm pissed off at Shai Bolton. Mate, he would have to be one of the most frustrating players. 20 meters out,
like he's good.
He's
like up here, but his bad is like so. If he can even just bring it somewhere there,
like he has moments in a game as well. Like if he's playing bad, he still has moments.
This kid's an absolute star,
but like
which he is, but
like 20 meters out. And I said it to my mate sitting next to me. I'm like, 20 meters out, directly in front, he's still going to try and snap it. And he did, and he hit the belly of the ball, and it went in for a behind. And
Yep.
I thought Daniel Rioli played well for you.
He was the best player on the ground, I reckon. Nearly. Taranto had a okay start. He was kicking dog shit, and I don't know what the hell he was doing when he was running in on goal, and then just stopped and handballed it behind him. But this leads me to my next thing. There was about 4 or 5 injuries in between 2 games,
mate,
and the turf from the Ed Sheeran concert just looked absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Well, the Sheeran was kicked around a bit that game.
Yeah, so. It was. Yeah. That Sheeran there, that thing, that's a Sheeran.
You mean Sherry for Carlton? No, he got injured. So well done.
North Melbourne.
I don't know who plays for
now.
who.
Who's the fucking idiot?
Still you.
Stupid comment.
At least I pronounced it properly.
Fine, Ed Sheeran.
Bro.
Just because
what's he shearing?
Just because he's your ginger mate. Fuck off. Ed Sheeran.
I could say something right now, and I'm not going to say it on the pod.
Yeah, we both have red hair, but they don't know this, so.
Well, now they know the mystery man's ginger.
He's either the mystery man or he wears a beanie, so no one knows.
Yeah, well, they've seen me wear the beanie.
But correct. Did anyone get surprised by any results? Because, I know I didn't expect St Kilda to beat Freo. And
Brisbane getting smacked by Port Adelaide.
Brisbane getting absolutely smacked.
I thought Port Adelaide were going to be outside the 8. Jason Horne-Francis, he looked
don't.
He looked like a star.
He looked so good. Fuck, I hate it.
And it's disgusting to...
How good did he look?
It's disgusting to see, the socks up and the hairstyle.
Yeah, real Isaac Dowling, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but
even great man.
Even the surgery that he got on behind his knee, it just looks disgusting.
Didn't even see it.
Oh, it doesn't look good, but
yeah,
I think
he played really well. He did play really well, but hey, real alarm bells for Brisbane. I've been saying it for a few years. When they lose badly, they look soft. They don't want to be there, and they looked real soft on the weekend. They just weren't up for the contest. They were second to the ball, happy to to let their players get the ball and then tackle them instead of going and getting the ball themselves. It didn't look.
Can't be doing that against Melbourne this weekend either.
Yeah,
fucking hell, Melbourne were impressive.
Even though they're playing at home.
Siri.
Even though Melbourne are playing away at the Gabba.
And it won't really matter, to be honest. I don't think, but
they just ran rampant on us.
All over
it.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
I hate to bring it up, but it was a lot like the grand final. The first half was real competitive. Second half was just
I was watching it. I was watching it with my dad, and I was saying to him, "This feels very familiar. This feels natural."
It probably wasn't as big. It wasn't as big of a steamroll as what it wasn't as big a steamroll as the grand final. And I don't like bringing it up, but yeah, the Grundy and Gorn thing, that's gonna work. That's fucking scary.
And now the Bulldogs
they worked that so well. And now Rory Jones might be out for a little while.
Rory Lobb,
Josh Bruce down back.
Yeah,
that's a massive question mark.
Lobb did nothing, and I don't know if it's because he was
injured most of the time. Yeah, your back line is just so suspect, Sharpie.
Red Richards had a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his Brownlow campaign. He's always going to play well, so.
Yeah, he's got to try and get past Soldo.
Hugo Hagen looked good though. Not going to lie, he looked like he looked pretty handy.
But he's been looking like that for the last 2 years. Well,
but that's the thing. If he continues to play, if he strings games together like that, it's just been the inconsistency the last few years with him. Hopefully this year, he's got the talent, no question about that. What about Darcy's moment?
Which Darcy?
You didn't see that? Not Sharpie's Darcy.
Sam Darcy.
Sam Darcy.
Oh no, that's mine. Oh, well, I thought we were talking about Darcy Moore.
No, he tried to kick it off. What did he try to do? He tried to kick it off the ground, missed it, and then picked it up, tried to snap it over nearly over the top of his shoulder, and it got smart. It was like Shaq in a fall. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
I think I
It was
stopped watching. I stopped
absolutely-
watching after a while. So
Look, you probably did, but it was not good viewing at all. Like, it did not look good at all.
We
Poor
got a
bloke.
speaking of things that did not look good, what are your thoughts on the Cozzy Pickett and McAdam
I was about to say.
Oh,
bumps?
yeah, that was.
We got 2
and
minutes
how
left.
McAdam
so-
got 3 weeks to pose?
Not if we had the Zoom Prime, Sharpie.
Yeah, I know. If only someone would invest in it. And then Cozzy Pickett got 2. Now, Cozzy Pickett was straight away decision of 2 weeks, but McAdam had to go to the tribunal, and apparently they're going to be challenging it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They both looked
It was
very
interesting.
similar.
I'm trying to find the comment that they were talking about today, because they said that the McAdam one was a little bit different, but I beg to differ.
If
because
anyone's a
it
Destiny
was-
fan out there, did that look like someone was giving someone a thunder crash? Because that looked
Correct.
very
Correct.
similar to
Well,
a thunder crash.
Yeah.
We'll come back
Yep.
to this debate. We'll just end the thing here and we'll pick it up in a moment. All right, and we're back.
I did see Will Brody signed that extension.
Yeah.
That's cool.
With the bumps, I haven't watched it back. I watched the Pickett one back and I saw it in real time, but I watched the McAdam one in real time, saw one replay, and I haven't seen it since. So
Okay, that was a great game.
This is my opinion,
That was
just
a great game.
off this, and by the sounds of it, I'm probably wrong. But
Probably.
it looked like McAdam got him in the head, and it looked like he jumped similar to Cozzy Pickett, but actually connected with the head, and the outcome wasn't good. So I think he actually deserved more weeks than Cozzy Pickett, but I haven't seen the replay, so I don't know if he actually did get him like flush in the head. But in a way, I think I like Cozzy Pickett's bump. Like, yeah, I feel like that's the kind of footy that you like just miss the good old days when they like rough and tough. Not like 1980s, because I wasn't obviously born, but like even early 2000s, they were still rough.
Yeah, Lockie was. So
like I know there was a suspension, but you like look at that bump on Brad Sewell from Matthew Lloyd when he absolutely just the line in the sand game where he just cleaned him.
Didn't he
up.
get 8 weeks for that?
Yeah, he did, but like you don't see anything like that anymore.
But he did something similar, a very soft version of it. But
like I feel like you can't take away the bump out of the game. Like,
yeah, but Goodwin came out today and said that it's pretty much dead.
Yeah,
because you've got to, like, unless you hit them so low and time it perfectly, you may as well just not even bother. You may as well just pack your bags and go on a holiday for a week or two.
Yeah,
because like that one from Cozzy Pickett, I think the only thing that made it look bad was that he left the ground. If he had stayed on the ground, just sort of ran through him, it wouldn't have been as high.
It looked like he launched into him.
He did. That's the thing. But I was trying to find, when we were on a break just before, I was trying to find a comment or a post that someone brought out about the difference in the bumps, and I forget exactly what it said. It was something about the timing, and everyone on that post was like, it was the reason for McAdam getting 3 weeks and Pickett only getting 2.
Yeah, and
I read it. I'm like, that doesn't look right at all.
Yeah,
but
I feel like McAdam's looked more intentional than Pickett's as well.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Cozzy's was still intentional, but I think he had the impact was more in time with what was going with what Bailey Smith was doing, and Bailey Smith bounced straight back up. That's what helped him out too.
Yeah.
But I don't think the bloke that McAdam hit did. I think it sort of he stayed down a little bit longer as well. But
I think he went off for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so that's obviously not going to do him any favors either. But
I don't know what the acronym for the concussion test is, but
yeah, I forget what it is as well.
They were talking about it, and like, yeah, and then that came that he wasn't going to play for the rest of the game.
Yeah, yeah. So
but I mean, if for him to like show like a sort of remorse for doing it as well, I mean, you kind of knew what you were doing in that situation. You didn't have to do that body movement. Like, what does that even do? You're jumping in with no arms out to show that you're trying to tackle him. You're just jumping straight into him.
It's so hard. Like, it's a split-second decision. You've either got to not do it or you do it, and like it is so hard. Like, because they play on the edge and it's so intense. Like, some of these guys are playing for their careers, and like if you don't do something, then you get absolutely crucified. You might not play a game again.
Oh, you could just pretend like you're trying to smother it or something. Just go for that. I mean, even
100%.
If you're late on the smother, you don't smother all the time. So,
this leads it to the next part with what Pendlebury said about like how the rugby or whatever has a sin bin for 10 minutes for bad hits or bad tackles or whatever. Do you think that's just a summary? A summary of what he said is he think that might be a beneficial thing for footy to look at. He did cop a bit of flack. I saw Daniel Gorringe tweet, "Yeah, we should also shoot free throws."
But like, I don't completely agree with like, that's what a yellow card's for.
Yeah,
you don't have to call it a sin bin. That's a yellow card.
Yeah,
like, you don't see that in the AFL. Like, I don't know if there's even a rule for yellow and red cards. Like,
I honestly think that,
like, if it's in country footy and everything, why isn't it in AFL?
I honestly think
because country footy has like less like
there's no like money or big thing on the line. Whereas
repercussions isn't that great. Like, you miss out on AFL games. You miss out on money.
Imagine though, like, if you get a yellow card and you're down a player for 15 minutes, like, that would change. Like, obviously, coaching, it completely changes what you're doing. You're like, oh, do you take a wing out? Do you take like a half forward out? It completely changes everything, and it adds a whole nother dynamic to the game. And it makes it sort of suspenseful too, because like they'd have a countdown going, like 15 minutes, and when it gets down to 1, the player will run back on. Like, I don't get why they don't do it. I honestly don't. I think there's so many more positive things to come out of it than negatives, in my opinion.
I think
in hockey, it's called a power play, where they have
literally,
instead of having 5-on-5, they'll have a 4v5 on the court.
You watch, if it gets any legs like throughout the season, they'll bring it out in the preseason games and trial it, and then it'll come out in like 2025 or something if it goes well. Like, it'll just. But I think it's not a half bad idea to add a different dynamic whilst deterring people from doing certain actions as well.
Well, I was going to say,
the thing is, though, you could say that is.
Sorry, go.
Like the draw, where the people are wanting extra time for draws and everything. It doesn't happen enough for it to be necessary. But if it's there, then I mean, you won't have to worry about drawing in AFL, but also with the bump situation where, you're going to have to be very careful on how you do certain things. And what would consist of a thing where you get sent off for a certain amount of time, though? Like, what would it be?
Like, what action do you have to do?
Would it just be the bump, or would it just be, tussling or something?
Yeah, that's a thing. Like, if you get into a fight and there's like all of a sudden 4 yellow cards, like, I just think it would make it very, and then all of a sudden the game would like open up and there'd be more scoring. Like, I just think there'd be so many good things to come of it than bad things. Oh, 100%.
They want more scoring.
Yeah, like, what are you going to do with your zone if you're missing 2 players? Good luck.
And I think that I forgot what I was going to say.
Speaking of like not scoring as much, St Kilda and Freo on the weekend either. That was a close game.
Oh yeah,
that was a very good game. And our Freo, Freo looked in charge in the first half on that one.
It should only happen if like someone gets concussed or they have to leave the ground and get checked, like knocked out or concussed or something like that. Like big hits.
An eye for an eye. That's what
exactly.
That's what it should be called.
Like, if you take someone out, then fucking make them play with 23 players for the rest of the game. I know they got the sub now, but like,
23.
20
I think he's carrying the bench.
and the sub.
Ah,
No,
ah.
that's 22. No, that's still
Holy
23. So
hell.
make them play. There's 22 on a team, including the bench, and then let's say 21. Then let's forget the sub. Let's say
Okay.
21. There we go. I got there in the end.
21.
I'm having a fucking shambles.
Brizzy's just rattled him.
You're having
Exactly.
a shambles or you're in shambles?
Yeah, that's
He's
the last
having
thing I
in
needed to
shambles.
hear. Is there anything else on the AFL that we're missing, that I'm missing? Tom Lynch is going to win the Norm Smith. Going to win the Coleman.
Well, who
Imagine
knows?
if
We
he
could look
does
back at
now,
this in
imagine.
October and see that Richmond won the grand final and Tom Lynch.
Exactly.
He's
If
just
he-
foreseen it.
If he wins the Norm
Manifesting.
Smith, I said that to someone at work the other day, I reckon, as well.
What's the
I
lottery
said-
numbers? You seem to know something.
Yeah.
How much
I'm going to
is
buy my
Tom
lottery
Lynch
ticket
paying
right
for the
now.
Norm Smith?
I'm going to buy my lottery ticket
Put
right now.
$5 on it right now for Tom Lynch to win the Norm Smith.
I'm actually going to try and find out how much it is.
I think before we get off AFL, who do you reckon,
Pause.
rising star wise, who had a better week, Ashcroft or Cheezels?
Oh, Cheezel. 1,000 times, yes.
I know it's a sort of a pretty obvious question, but
They haven't got the
Yeah,
Norm
but it's
Smith
a
on
hard
here.
game to judge for Ashcroft because they were dog shit. Like he looked pretty good in the losing side.
He started off very slow, but came into it.
Yeah. But she's. I still think he had the better week, but it's going to be interesting to see how he goes with.
Just got that dog in him.
when we're not going well.
Got that dog in him.
he looks
obviously
like
we're
when
not
I was
gonna win every
watching
single game.
when I was watching him, he looked like he's been playing for in the AFL
Correct.
for like 5 years
Yeah.
already.
Looked silky, and they were having him kick out of full back.
Just shows how much
So-
trust they've got in him already.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap
Yep,
disposals.
100%.
All right. I think that's everything for the thing for footy. Oh my god. Before
Lord.
we go, your goat graduated and he got a little
He
owl.
did.
Hoot,
Look at
hoot.
him.
It's a little head wig.
Where's the hat?
Where's
the hat?
Pressure. Here it is.
Messy bedroom.
I can't put it on with my headset on, but there we go.
Yes.
If you come up with a good enough name, I'll let you name my little head wig. And it can't
Hooters.
be. That's not bad. I like that for obvious reasons. Play ho. Second bad.
Here we go. Us.
All right. I think that's everything. That's been a longer one for today. So
It has. It's been fun.
we've treated it. And maybe we should do this because we need to talk more about the AFL.
It's almost like we could have done it last week as well.
Where's the first podcast?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've had a.
And we also need to get our setup happening too. Like we've got we've got a little special something, and
it's been sitting
the host has
around.
been slack.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks lit.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Maybe I don't want to do this
No
podcast
worries
anymore.
at all. You're going to finish on that absolute rubbish. My God.
We'll see you.
Sorry
next
about that,
week.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck Dylan Brooks.